on the education scale. Some
Yeah,
some areas.
Pretty close to the South. We'll just say that, or it's
Some
technically
areas.
the South. So
That have the education scale. So it is what it is.
yeah. All right, well, almost halfway through the show. I'm going to send a shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for joining the show. You are tuned into Not Without Lonzo, N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. I am Dusty Vision. That is the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Alonzo Williams. If you are new to the show and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. If you're feeling a little generous, we have a $sign right at the bottom of the chat. Shoot us a few bucks if you appreciate the content. And please go to Amazon Prime. Alonzo's documentary was just released a couple of weeks ago. It's $1.99. Eve After Dark. Type in Eve After Dark, especially if you love West Coast hip hop like I love West Coast hip hop and history. Definitely check it out. And hit that like button before we continue. Now, Lonzo, I did watch the documentary last week. I bought it, so I'm sure I'll watch it again, just from a hip hop point of view. And I want to talk about a few things from the documentary, and we're gonna only give away a little bit. There's so much in it, so I don't want anyone thinking, oh, I'm gonna get all of it tonight. Why even check out the documentary? We're just gonna talk about a few different things that I would like to hear your stories on, even though we may have already talked about it in the past. Now, talk to us about when Disco died.
That was an interesting.
I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be right back. Do your thing.
When Disco died, that was a very interesting time, especially for me. I named myself after Disco. Disco Lonzo was my first DJ name. Disco was the hottest thing going in 1975, 76, maybe up to about 77, maybe even 78. It was a hot era. Came out of New York. It was the shit. It came complete with a fashion style. It came complete with dances. It came complete with its own drug. Cocaine became the popular drug of the disco era. It's been around for decades, but the disco era made cocaine really hot. But one thing about the disco era, and this is my personal take, is that it was all about dancing. It was all about dancing. I see you, OG Steve. Much love to you, Doc. Disco era was all about dancing. And women love to dance. Most men don't too much care for dancing. Okay? White women love to dance. Some of them don't do it that well. Some of them do it fantastic. But they love to dance. And even if they can't do it that good, get a couple of shots of Jägermeister, shit, they going to the dance floor. And I remember a few times I'm doing my Disco Lonzo thing at a couple of events. It was, multiracial. And the brothers was flinging them white girls around the dance floor. They was having a good time. And, brother can do all that shit, doing that Saturday Night Fever shit. Brothers is doing a little locking. And they doing their dancing because all the stuff was right around the same time. And all of a sudden, I declare blue sky, disco sucks. Disco sucks. And you start seeing the bumper stickers. You start seeing the sign, T-shirts, all kind of stuff. And in a matter of seconds, disco died. And I credit that to the fact that white men don't like to dance. And to see your girl out there being slung around by anybody, brother, Latino, whatever the case may be, didn't make you feel good. And the music was up tempo, okay. And it also got cross collateralized with the gay community, okay. That was one of the first musical genres that I could think of that was accepted by the gay community, okay. Funk may have been, but it wasn't as prevalent as disco. Disco, folks got to flame out, okay? Especially, I see your hologram EMC.
Oh, good looking.
Disco, if you was in that lifestyle, you got to flame out, okay? There was clubs in Hollywood, man, that was all, they were discos most of the time. Brothers used to get a chance to go in them on maybe Tuesday or Thursday night. But on the weekends, then you had openly gay artists like Sylvester. And that shit was jamming, okay? In that era, that shit was jamming. And when you realize Sylvester looked like a woman, it would, you know, people take that stuff, people took that personal. I had an issue with Prince in the beginning, okay?
Thank you, Tony. Good looking out. Love you all.
I had a problem with Prince in the beginning. I had to get used to Prince, man. But I didn't buy no T-shirts and say Prince sucks. I had to get used to this brother wearing these tight ass pants or these leggings and a G-string and a trench coat. But you know, his music didn't come off as gay. I had to, you know, it was like, okay, what? All right, he cool. Then he came out with the cheekless pants and kind of threw me for a loop. Then he was starting messing with Vanity, and he back in my favor again. But Disco got a bad rap. Like I said, some cats don't dance as well as others. Then it got attached to the gay community, and I think that's what really killed it.
Damn. Hey, Hologram EMC has a great question. He says, what was it like hearing brand new James Brown as it came out?
Oh, man, that was the shit, dude. James Brown dropped the record. It goes straight to, it was automatically going on the radio. Automatically. In some cases, heavy rotation. See, back then, they had a thing called payola. Okay? And see, James Brown, he promoted a lot of his own shows. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And he understood going to the radio station and hanging out with the DJs, and he made people feel comfortable. If you ever see his movie, he knew how to talk to them DJs. He knew how to hang out with them, make them feel comfortable. He would do drops. He would have them MC his shows. So even if he wasn't giving them cash money to play his record, he still had put them in his favor. So anytime he was in town, shit, it's going down. And they're going to blow him up so he can come to town and do some live shows. More money for the station. James Brown was an industry by himself. Man, James Brown had his own redemption stamp. They called the Brown stamp. Okay? Yes, look it up. James Brown was one of the first men to have his own, first black man to have his own helicopter. And down south in Macon, Georgia, he had his own stamp called the Brown stamp. It was just like blue chip stamps we had here on the West Coast. When you went to certain stores, you got the Brown stamp. And the Brown stamp, you can go redeem it and get discounts, all kind of stuff. Look it up.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yep.
Damn. Hey, James Brown, probably arguably, not even arguably, I would say, the most sampled person, especially in early hip hop.